They're literally playing tug of war and tug of war with this girl. They in the car, like when I seen her grabbing my husband had a pretty good grip on his daughter or whatever, and I skirt off. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another video. As you guys can see by the title, we're back with another story time, you guys. I have nothing against anyone. I'm not upset, you guys, because every time I put these videos up, I feel like people, the actual people think like it's up here, and it's not. It's still down here. I share the stories, you guys, because as most of you know, a lot of you know that I went through some sort of like spiritual awakening. Before that, my life was kind of like taken advantage of a lot. I just been through a lot and went through so many situation after situation after situation, and back then not knowing how to handle it, or not even knowing how to protect myself, because it was just like so much on me. But yeah, anyway, let me just get to the story, you guys. So I'm gonna tell you one particular story, maybe even two. In order for me to tell the story, you guys, I got to give a background for you guys to understand where I'm coming from. My husband has an older daughter that he had in a previous relationship, and currently she's not in his life. She's not in either of our lives. She's not in my children's life. Everything is just kind of strained. And you guys, I'm sharing this story because even though everything is all over with, and obviously they have some guilt that creeps up on me, because hoping and wishing that situations was different, knowing that they're supposed to be different, and it's just so much time is just passing by, and it's just really unfortunate for certain people involved. Anyway, so I've been with my husband now for about 12 years. We will be married for 10 years coming this December. Okay, so for 10 years of those 12 years, it's just 2 years ago where I just cut ties with everything and everybody. But 10 years ago, for 10 straight years, you guys, I went around his family, and for 10 straight years, I just been through so many freaking situations, you guys. And you guys may think to yourself, why the hell, how the hell did you let this happen? How did your husband let this happen? How did this continue on for so freaking long? And blah, 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 blah. You guys, me and my husband are very, very much alike we're very different, but very much alike in a certain extent, to where we both really, really hate drama, and we're very, very slow to speak when we're very, very slow to speak if some situations or some drama come up. I just pretend like it's not happening, and when things go too far, and then that's when, I met my husband's daughter when she was 4 years old. She was such a little cutie, and she absolutely loved me, you guys. When she met me, she absolutely loved me. We had such a great time. When she did spend some time with us, it was absolutely amazing, and she was just so sweet, and I just loved her so much. I grew, I developed a bond with her in spite of. I said this before, but I wasn't accepted. I went around and I did things, and I always showed up with my husband, but I was never really accepted. And my husband's kid's mom, guys, hated me from the very, very beginning. Throughout these 10 years straight, we would see his daughter on and off. I'm talking about, you guys, we would see her 3 or 4 months at a time. So you guys, my husband always used to call and beg for his kid. Can I come pick up? Can I come pick up? She wouldn't even be shy to be rude. She would even make sometimes she would, but she wouldn't even make up a random excuse. There was one time when he called, right? This is how she treated him. And he's such a nice guy, you guys. So I feel like it was so easy to take advantage of him, and he just wanted to be there for his child. So he entertained a lot of these things at the beginning, because he just wanted to be there for his child. He didn't want her to keep her away. There was one time when he called, right? I'll never forget this, you guys. He calls and he says, can I come pick her up? She says, I'm gonna think about it. He was like, can I come pick her up or not? She was like, I said I'm gonna think about it. He calls an hour later. Can I come pick her up? I told you I'm gonna think about it. He's calling hour after hour after hour, and I'm looking at him like, it's almost dark outside. It's as if she just wanted him to keep calling her phone back. We ended up not even getting the child, but she was just so freaking petty all the time for no reason. She hated me from day one. Try to get rid of me. Literally try to get rid of me from day one. So eventually, after all that fighting and back and forth, and her not being able, him not being able to see his child, but she's demanding all this extra money. Eventually, we ended up in the visitation court. Okay, so my husband is like talking to this lady, and he's like, I can never see my daughter and whatever. I'm paying all this child support. She's going for increases and all of that. I don't see my child, blah, blah, blah. So this lady was like, okay, just come in and let's just set up a visitation thing. He went to a couple of appointments. So he got this visitation letter that said he gets them on Father's Day. She gets them on Mother's Day. They switch Christmases. One Christmas he has, the other Christmas she has them. Father's Day, Mother's Day. Did I say that already? Father's Day, Mother's Day, and you know, just like 1 year you this and 1 year you that. She goes to court, you guys, and sign this paper. She signs the paper for the visitation rights. Me and my husband is like, oh my God, she actually was able to sign it, because let me tell you, her ignore game is, when it comes to business, she don't care. She ain't scared of nothing. I feel like she's not scared of anything, because she doesn't give a damn. Her hate is just so strong. Her hate was just so freaking strong towards me. Anyway, so the first day, this is what happens the first day. The first day we go like, okay, so we're going to go pick her up, because it was the first day of what it said it started. It had a start date. So it was like, okay, so we went to go pick her up that day. We calling, no answer. We drove to the house. She's refusing to give us the child. I think it was like a couple of days later, it was both my husband and I, same exact thing. The next time, same exact thing. She didn't let us see her, completely disobeying the paper that she signed. Split second, my husband says operation because he can't get in her mom's home. He can't like get in contact with his child. He can't see her, you know. So he was like, we knew where her bus stop was. So we knew where her bus stop was. My husband's cousin was in the back seat, you guys. So my husband says to me, he's like, look, Renee, he says you're gonna get in the driver's seat. I'm gonna get in the passenger seat, and when Kima off the bus and the bus driver leaves, I'm gonna grab up. We're gonna put her in the car, and then boom, we're driving off. Bus pulls up, and my heart is beating so fast, and the bus pull up. So we, around the corner, so she won't see us. She's standing there with her little baby in her hand. I think her kid was like maybe 2 years old at the time. She doesn't even see us, not expecting anything, you guys. So after the bus pulls off, like we drive and we pull up like a freaking drive-by, you hear me, like Bonnie and Clyde. I pull up on the side, I stop on the side of her, she just like not even paying attention. He opens the door and he grabs his daughter, you guys, and they're literally playing tug of war and tug of war with this girl. They're in the car like whatever. She's like, no, give her. She starts screaming out random things. She was like, she gotta take a bath, she gotta change her clothes, she gotta do it. And she's like holding her other baby like this and grabbing my husband by the other hand, by the thing. You guys, I'm not very proud of this moment, but like at that moment when I seen her grabbing my husband had a pretty good grip on his daughter or whatever, and I skirt off, okay, with his daughter's legs hanging out of the freaking car, just like a couple of feet, just to get away from her. You guys, and then that's when my husband kidnapped his own daughter, you guys. That was the first time that he kidnapped her. Oh my gosh, and we kept her for a while. Oh, so we went on vacation. We was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna go on vacation. She can't come, Second time, you guys, oh my God, so much drama the second time we took her. So as you guys know, like, please, I have no hard feelings against these people, and I hope that they don't think that I do, because I'm over it, and there's not a damn thing they can do to me anymore to harm me. But, you guys know that he's, like, not only did she hate me, it was like such a thing, and it was so much amplified, because it's like she was like accepted in the family more than I was. It's like they would talk behind my back. They would like, she moved in with my husband's siblings for like 3 years. They lived together for 3 years, all bonding off of hating me. Y'all ever see people who bond and get closer off of like, because of somebody that they hate? That's a real thing, you guys. I just dealt with, you guys, if I was to tell you every single story, my God, I dealt with situation after situation, and such intense, bullying. Such intense bullying, you guys. So much like embarrassing moments. Anyway, she was living with his siblings at the time, right? And I don't know, for some reason his sibling wanted to was like, okay, I'm gonna help you out on this one. He pretended to like wanna like help us out and be on our side or whatever, because he's like, I want to come get my child, I miss him, whatever. He's talking to him and he was like, okay, look, we're going to the club. That night, his sibling was going to the club with his kid's mom in Mississippi, and they were leaving his daughter to babysit her baby sister at the house. And my husband's mom happened to be there. My husband gets on the phone with his daughter, right? And so we already know that she's gone to Mississippi to go clubbing because we already knew all the plans already. So we knew. So he was talking to his daughter at the time. First of all, you guys, this also was not planned 100%. He was not gonna do this until he spoke to his daughter on the phone. So I don't know if I can come get you. But she was like, Daddy, please. She loved us, you guys. And this is what she always did. She called us and we did it. She was like, Daddy, please come pick me up, please. Please, I want to come, please. Please come pick me up. I'm going to give my sister warm milk and she's going to go to sleep. My sister's going to go right to sleep after we give her some more milk. And he's just on the phone. I'm on three-way, you guys. I'm not saying anything. I'm like, oh, my God. So, yeah, so she's like, please come pick me up. My mom's not here, whatever. She didn't care about the repercussions. She didn't care about getting in trouble or anything. So he speaks to his mom. He's like, okay, I'm going to leave the sister here with you. They'll be back home whenever they're done clubbing. She's sleeping already. We're going to give her... His mom was older and, like, kind of sickly. So we didn't feel too, like... I wasn't really happy about the situation, but... So we just, like her sister said, her sister gave her some more milk and she was sleeping. She put her next to the grandmother. My husband was on his way from work, so he had picked her up. I was at home, and then he ended up bringing her home. You guys, it turned into such a big drama. So the sibling started pretending like he didn't initiate this thing in the beginning. He started while the sibling was in the club with this girl, he kept calling my husband's phone. Y'all better not tell her. Y'all better not tell her. I have nothing to do with this. She's looking like, because she started like figuring some things out. He called from the club. He went outside. He just kept calling my husband. Tell him he better not say nothing. He better not say nothing or whatever. So he's like, I'm not. You guys, you will never freaking believe that this, at the end of the day, he pretended so much that he didn't help us with this and didn't tell us where they were going and help us figure out a day. He got into this war between his kid's mom and his siblings and me and my husband because he started pretending like he didn't know. He didn't want her to think that he was doing that behind her back because he was most 100% more loyal to her than he was to his own brother and me. 100% the whole time, all of them. And I'm not mad at it. I mean, I'm cool. That's just what it was. And it's just the truth. So this girl did not know where we lived at. His sibling tried to cover his tracks and brought this girl to my house while my husband was at work. They were outside of my door, you guys, screaming. Bring her out. His sibling is outside of my door calling me, you a bum. You a bum. And he was like, he talking about my husband's kid's mom. She was like, she has a job. She worked at Walmart at the time. She has a job. She take care of herself. She blah, 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 blah. You a bum. If it wasn't for my brother, you'd be on the streets. And blah, blah, blah. He was going off, you guys. I swear to God, I'm not lying. Nobody knows this. I had boiling hot water. My sibling is so tall, so big, like so freaking tall. I had hot boiling water boiling for him on the stove. You guys, my husband was like, Renee, don't do it. Don't do it. Because I was about to open that door. And if he came through my door, if you're going to come as a man through my door, try to fight me, try to do that and act like a female, I'm going to do what I got to do to protect myself. I had boiling hot water coming before they came because they told me that they were on their way. Anyway, so it's like this girl, like now this girl knows we live at blah, blah, blah. So my husband ends up coming home they arguing over the phone. My husband was at work at the time. He ends up coming home. The police is at my house. They don't call the police. So I'm trying to get all the papers, the visitation papers. So we're like, no, he has visitation papers. She never allows him to see him, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I don't know how, but they ended up saying that she needs to go get a paper to get the child back. A couple of days later, 2-3 days later passed, right? It was at nighttime, I'm sleeping. Now, you guys, during this time, I'm going to tell you why this is sad at the end of the story, at the end of this, because, yeah, things just changed very much. During this time, you guys, I had developed the most strongest bond with my stepdaughter that I've ever, because she was with us for a while. She was with us for a while after the second kidnap. hadn't developed, you guys. She started calling me mom. She was like, mama, mama. And I'll be like, yeah. She'd be like, she would just want to be fit in. You guys know how I am with my family. You know, guys know how my kids are. You know how we are together. She wanted to be a part of that. We wanted her to be a part of that. And she was like, mama, mama. And she would cook next to me. She would wear my clothes. She would like, I don't know, wear my robe and my shoes. She would just love to be around me.
Come back around, hit my baby.
Oh.
What goes around, my baby. What goes around, comes back around.
It's just like, she loved it. She loved that I accepted her so much. Like, I gave her every single thing that I gave Jalen and everyone. I dressed her and Jalen like twins. I did both of their hair together. I just like did everything for her. I was so excited, and obviously wanted to work very hard to like show her that she's accepted and to be a stepmom, you guys. I'm not a bad person, you guys, and I'm not, you know, they have stepmoms out there that, you guys, if you have a good stepmom or a stepmom who loves the kid, you guys, be grateful, because they have stepmoms out there that is so evil and that wants bad for the kids and that's very jealous of their own child. That's a real thing. Anyway, so I fell in love with her. Anyway, so the second night comes, they're outside with the police. I'm sleeping. It's dark. I guess she don't went to go get her papers. His daughter, my stepdaughter, comes and wakes me up. She's crying profusely, you guys. She's like, wake up, wake up. They here to get me. She's crying. She's like, they here to get me. They here to come pick me up. They're outside. And I'm like, my heart starts beating. I'm like, oh my God, I was so sad at the way things were happening. It was just like, just waking up to her being so hysterical. And I go outside and they sitting in the car and they talking to the cops. So in the car was her and her mom, my husband's baby's mom, and her mother. My stepdaughter is like hugging me and holding me and laying on my chest like this, and I'm rubbing. I'm like, it's gonna be okay. Her mom is right there, looking at her like this. So evil, to the point to where, you guys, I swear to God. So eventually the cop ended up taking the baby to her mom, to the car, walked into the car, and the cop came up to us and said, here's my number, you guys. If you need me to say anything or you need a witness or anything, you can call me. He was telling us that she was giving her child this horrible look, you guys, this like evil ass look, like she was gonna kill her, I guess because of her bond with me, because of the bond that she had with me. And her mom gets out the car, you guys, gets out the car and starts sprinkling some type of dust outside of my home. And she's like, in Jesus' name, I bind the devil. In Jesus' name, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my God, you have, like, do you know what your daughter has done? Do you know what your daughter is doing? Do you know whatever? Now, I said all of this to say this, for you guys. I said all of this to say that currently, she's not in our life, and she hasn't been, and we just don't have no communication. After that situation happened, and after situation, and we just kept fighting for 10 years. We went through things like that to see his daughter. And when she would keep him away, we'd go visit her school. He'd go visit her school and stay in a class. The teachers loved it, would love him and whatever. And would bring her things and give her money. You guys will never believe that her mom went to the school and banned him. Put him on the do not visit list. She just, everything to take away from him, every single thing. But let me tell you why, you guys. This is where I said all of that to say this, you guys. Because she's not in our life now, me as well as my husband, as always, we do feel on and off like an intense amount of guilt, the way things happened and how things are happening, because God ended up blessing us very much so after the fact, after we gave up, after we washed our hands with it, you guys. Only because after 10 years of fighting, his daughter became older, is now I think 15 or 16 years old. She got older and literally turned into her mother. She literally, I don't know what she was told. I don't know what she was taught after all these years, but she turned 100%, and it started being her. She didn't want to come over. All she wanted was money. Keep asking for money and all kinds of expensive things, iPhones, iPhone 11s, 10s. We were so badly disrespected throughout the entire thing. When his daughter started acting like her mom and started giving up on her and her dad's relationship, his daughter would literally be telling you act like you love her more than me. And talking about me, I'm thinking in my head oh my God, we have two totally different relationships. The love that he has for me is not comparable to the love that he has for you. And that's just how I feel, you guys. The animosity that the mom had towards me all these years literally became the same animosity that the daughter had. He texts out, never gets to see you. It's not fair. And I pay child support. I asked for you. He's a little girl. This is when I know things changed and like it was like late. It's like she texted him back, well, I need braces, and that she was like, well, that was your fault. You're the one who ruined that. But I still need to live. I need to go on with my, like, basically saying I need to go on with my life. I still need to do things and get things. So you need to take care of me regardless of, but you ruined your relationship of seeing me and everything. So you don't have no chance. Basically, like, there's no chance, but give me the money. Oh my God, you guys, it was just the saddest thing. So we just kept fighting with that. So I'm going to tell you, this is when I had my spiritual awakening. And actually, I'm going to tell you, it was because of my husband's daughter, where I gave up on every single person, to where I said, hell no, nobody's ever about to do this to me. Nobody's ever about to make me think that I did wrong and whatever. It's like, it started with her. My spiritual awakening literally started with me letting go, as hard as it was, of my stepdaughter after 10 years. I looked at my husband and I told my husband, I cried. I'm not doing it anymore. I said, Deval, I don't care what happens. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you do. I give up. I said, don't involve me with anything that has to do with her or your child. I'm sorry. 10 years, I'm done. I throw my hands up. After 10 years, I said that. And I was like, don't you mention it to me. If you want to go over there, you go over there by yourself. When she calls, please don't ask me anything. You make the decisions by yourself. Please do not make these people think that I'm going to be there. Do not involve me in anything. And because we would always forgive and go back and go back and go back. And no matter what would happen, we would act like nothing happened. We would absolutely act like nothing happened. Not this time. I told him every single thing that has to do with your child, do not talk to me about it. Do not, especially until I heal. And he looked at me and he was like, Renee, I'm so happy that you feel that way. He said, I just wanted you to be happy, because he's seen how that affected me. It affected our relationship. This affected our relationship so badly. We weren't happy, and it's like I felt guilt. So he was like, I'm so glad that you told me that. He was like, I feel the same exact way you did. I leave it in God's hands. I prayed. I called and I called and I tried to talk it out. They didn't want to do it. I'm here with you. Just know that I'm here. And he apologized for not protecting me throughout all these years. We literally still to this day, we have talk after talk after talk. He became he just had a different understanding of what I was going through, especially because they were doing that to me, bullying me so badly. And you guys, I might, tell another, you guys, I have and if I do story times on specific situations, you guys, I'll have a million of those stories about what happened specifically about being bullied. Yeah. So he just till this day is just so apologetic for allowing his family and her to jeopardize our relationship, and to just treat me the way they treated me. Because you guys, he didn't take up for me a lot of the times. He just was shocked himself and was just like me. Let me tell you the situation that the situation that ended it. After he hasn't seen his daughter, first of all, in 9-10 months, right? He gets a random call. It's almost her birthday. As always, these were the type of calls that he would get to always separate me from it. She could never come to the family and us to be a family. It bothered her. It bothered his kid's mom for her to be a family with us. So when we had new babies and new births, baby showers, birthdays, whatever, she wasn't allowed. She never was. We begged for her. We asked family to ask. And that's when her mom was like, nope, she can't be involved, because she just didn't want her to be involved in our family dynamic. However, she wanted to continue the entire time to have some sort of relationship with my husband, to hold on to something in her head. I don't know what it was. So he gets a random call from his daughter. And she says she wants to take a family photo with him, the mom, and her. Now, first of all, that's weird, because he has a whole family here. Don't get your child, he has a whole family here. His real family's here. And second of all, in certain situations, I actually won't even think that this is, I think that this would be okay. I feel some people that I've always see that has such a good co-parenting relationship, you guys, they do great. They go on vacations together. They have conversations. I was always hoping to have a mutual conversation where she could call me and say, oh, the girl's acting up in school. Go get her, go to school, and I can't make it this time. It's your turn. And us to just co-parent. I've always wanted that and dreamed about that. But, I never had that. Now, keep in mind, he hasn't seen his daughter in 9 months. You have a random call and a picture matters to you. I was so upset, because I'm damn, you taking This whole life, you have taken this child away from a father that is capable of giving her so much love, without, and you don't not one time mention that, or ever, like, if your complaint is never you don't spend enough time with her, whatever. Your complaint is let them go and do their family. That's their family. She can't go, like, that's their thing. He starts telling his daughter, like, I don't know, that's like disrespectful to my wife, and I don't know, and me and your mother doesn't have a relationship like that. We just need to sit down and talk about this. You know what she tells him? She was like, what, she want to be in a picture or something? What, she want to get in the picture or something? Like, with the worst attitude, right? He said, he's like, it's like he was scared of her, you guys. He's like, please don't talk to me like that. She says, that's how I talk. That's how I talk. I talk like that to everybody. I talk like that to my teacher. I talk like that to my mom. I talk like that to my auntie. That's how I talk. That's literally what she tells him. With the words, like you guys, it was nothing. It wasn't even about the picture. For you to have so much animosity, so much anger, for you to call after 9 months and ask for a picture so you can look good and put it on, maybe on social media, to say you the kid's mom, so you can feel like validated, or whatever the case may be. Let me tell you what happened one time. We would go pick her up. My stepdaughter would come to the car and say, when we did get her, 20% of the time out of 10 years, she came to the car randomly one day, and then this happened a couple of times after that, but she came to the car randomly one day and said, my mama said my sister has to come with us. Now, she was coming with us for the weekend. My mama said my sister has to come with us because nobody's here to watch her, or I don't know what it was. And I'm like, it's not the fact that she even wanted her sister to come, but the fact that you saying it like, my mom said she gotta, like, girl, like, that's not my husband's baby, for number one. Secondly, first of all, this little girl loves me. When we did go visit the family members when he was living with his siblings, both the little kids loved me. Even her little younger daughter loved me. And so, I did it. So I took her child with me, and I took both kids. I took both of her children, one of them being not my husband. And keep in mind, I did this without us even having a relationship, with her disrespecting me for 10 years, with her talking down on me, with her talking about me, with her going against me with the family for 10 years. And I still did these things. So the last straw, so my husband was like, tried everything. He called the mom, and he called his baby's mom, and he calls her mom. He was like, we gotta talk. She refused to talk now. She doesn't want to face anything she done. She doesn't want to talk about it. She doesn't want to fix anything. You guys, she refuses to face all of this. Like, literally to this day. To this day, let's talk it out so he can see his child. You don't ever want to fix it because she doesn't want to face what she's done. So she's literally just like not in the radar anywhere, nowhere to be found, and doesn't, So, but like after that, like, can we take a picture thing? A family photo after 9 months of him seeing his child. I'm like, oh, hey, stranger, like, damn, how are you doing? Like, how have you been? Okay, come take a family photo with me and my mom. Girl, so he calls her, and he's like, we gotta talk about, I can't see her, and blah, blah, blah. He calls the other mother. He calls the mother. He's like, I don't know what to do. Can you please talk to your daughter so we can talk to her? She was like, I'm gonna talk to her. You guys, nothing. Nobody asked, nothing. That was about a year and a half ago. And still to this day, we've gotten text messages about buying things, and that's just about that. And we have to just end it each time and say, can we see you? Can we see you? And today, you guys, I happily pay her child support. I happily pay her child support every single month. But her or anything else will not be reaping any of my benefits. Will be reaping any of my benefits until I get the respect that I deserve, and for us to be on one accord, knowing that she is not going to come doing anything that she did back in the day. It's not like that anymore. Things have changed, and I'm pretty sure she knows this. He took amazing care of me and all his children, paid his child support, always, never missed a payment. And you guys, after 13 years, the tables turned. He lost his job, and thank God, just in time. That's a whole nother story for another day. That was just destined to happen, and that happened the way it happened. Another story time for another day. But he ended up losing his job, and I started and the tables turned, and I started making the income. I started doing videos on YouTube with you guys, And yeah, that's how we make our living. So I happily pay the child support now, you guys. And you guys know that she, after he lost his job, went for an increase because I guess she sees how we living. And you don't ask for no increase from me. You're a grown woman. You need to get up and do that by yourself. Oh, this is I didn't do an update, you guys. I know you guys wanted an update from me. We went to court. She didn't show up. This was after I did the video. I did the video being so upset that she was taking for an increase. So we ended up going there and she didn't show up. Like, again, she never wants to face us. She always does everything like behind closed doors. But yeah, so the child support stayed the same, you guys, and I'm currently paying it, and we'll be paying it until the baby is 18 years old. And hopefully, and I know that when she gets older, she'll come back to her dad. I mean, she'll come back to her dad, and yeah, they'll be able to start a relationship. But honestly, I know that I say I'm not upset at any of these people, but I do have like a sort of like, I have this in me, like, to where I'm thinking like, my husband has so much love to give. I have so much love to give. My kids has so much love to give, and somebody ripped that away. Like, she'll never be able to get these years back. She'll never be able to bond with her dad growing up, like, so she can, like, so he can just watch her grow, and all of that was taken away because of selfishness, because of jealousy, because of envy, because of not being able to accept things for what they were. So we talked one time we had a conversation outside of his aunt's house, you guys. I don't know how we ended up talking outside. So I think it was like on Thanksgiving. I had cooked some meals, which, by the way, which I did all the time. Even though I wasn't accepted and liked, I knew that I always showed up, you guys. I always cooked for this family, and I always spent a lot of money on like entertaining them and doing things. And certain people, like, mostly. She proceeds to tell me, she was like, oh my God, he was my friend. He's been my friend. And we've been best friends. We grew up together and whatever. And she's crying. She was like, we're friends and we grew up together, and I'm losing, she just felt like she was losing the relationship or whatever. And you guys, so I hug her and I'm like, it's gonna be okay. I'm like, I don't know, I for some reason I don't remember what I was telling to her, but I was telling her, like, I don't know, I just wanted to be respected and stuff like that. And she proceeds to tell me, she was like, I just want to thank you for everything that you do for my daughter, because she knew that I did a lot for her daughter, and she thanked me once for that. And I appreciated that so much, because this girl barely even like knew who I was, barely even, never told me anything nice, always like fought me physically and every other way, and just always had an attitude. It was just so like, I just thought things were gonna change. This was a long time ago. I was like, it's gonna be okay, we're gonna work things out, everything's gonna be okay. So we walked, we hugged it out. And we went back into the party, and we started, like, I bought daiquiris for everybody. I made some potato salad. We all started eating. I was just so happy, you guys. You guys won't believe the next time I seen her was at the siblings' house when we went to go visit, and she shut the door. She looked at me, rolled her eyes, and shut the door in my face. And things went right back to the way it was. It was always a freaking problem, you guys. So I just want to say, you guys, I know that they have, unfortunately, like, usually there's a lot of men that runs away from the kids, and they have, like, and we always have people talking about, oh, the daddy's not here, and like they deadbeat and da. You guys, I understand that, and I sympathize with you guys so much, but I want you guys to understand, and I want a lot of you other guys to understand that I do also understand you, because there is a flip side to this. There's a flip side to this, to where dads try their damnedest and so hard and fight to see the kids, and they have bitter moms who doesn't allow that to happen, who takes all of that away from them, who rips the life away from them, and like, to where they have to like jeopardize their life, jeopardize their like morals and their values and their family, they're like their new family and things like that. Like, it's just, I feel like we just don't talk about that enough. I feel like we should talk about both ends. We should talk about both sides. We should talk about dads who are there, who tries their best to try to be there, but they're, I have sisters who's dealing with the same exact thing, you guys. My sister had a situation to where her and her husband randomly picking the kid up, and all of a sudden they arrived to a bunch of people and getting jumped. A bunch of people, just random people, just fighting them, jumping them. not knowing like these guys are being put in dangerous situations. These girls like will get their family involved, they'll get other men involved, they get other people involved, they will start some trouble, and they will they will F with these men's livelihood. I know I let a lot of these things happen, but one thing this girl did not do, like, I just want to look in this camera right now like this and say that in this household, it's always been this way, whether I would have said nothing or not, whether you thought you got away with things or not, whether you thought you won the battle, whether you thought you were so high and mighty because you had the whole family on your team and not mine, because you thought you had it, like as if you were the wife. You were, you know, whether, no matter what you thought, no matter what battle you think you won back then, when I was so quiet, the reason why it always happened back to back is because the girl was just so miserable, and it never worked out for her. Because in this house, I might be silent about it, but when you step in this door, when you cross a certain line, you're not going to get away with what you think you're going to get away with, sister. I'm just saying, because I'm the queen of this household. I'm the only one who has a say-so in this household. You don't get to say how my household runs. You never got to say how my household runs. Ever. Now, you may have did the worst, disgusting, slimy, grimy thing by taking away such a good thing. Such a good, like, people die. Like, so many people would die for that. So many people would... guys, y'all write me all the time of like how you wish, like, oh my gosh, I wish my son, my kid's dad was in their life the way, like, you had all of that and you took that away. And not only that, you ruined that. You talked about him so badly and ruined any hope that his daughter had. Like, he was Superman to her, you know? Like a dad is Superman to their daughter. And I'm sad because of her siblings gets to experience this love and this joy and this family. And yeah, and that's just that. I'm just waiting for everybody to be on the same page, everybody to sit down and talk and be honest with each other so we can move forward, and so this baby can have her dad in her life and a bonus mom, because whether you like it or not, you cannot change that, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So you might as well just make the best of it. So yeah, every single day there's a certain amount of guilt that my husband and I live with, but like my husband said, he's just like, he tells me, he's like, I leave it in God's hands. You said, Renee, I prayed about it a long time ago, way before you gave up. All right, you guys, so yeah, I feel like I'll all over the place. I'll be rambling when I have so much to freaking say. So it's like I literally go from one subject to another subject because I have so much to say, you guys. It's my first time really speaking out about this. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you right now everything that happened to me, and it happened to me so much because that's what I allowed. You guys have to stand. The number one person to blame is me. That's just what I allowed. I presented myself. I was just so soft-spoken, so scared, so like unable to say no to anybody. Literally, I could not even say the word no. I'd be like, okay, right? Like anything. They would take advantage of me, and I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'll do. Like, I literally, if you guys comment down below, because that's actually a thing, you guys, it's literally actually like a sickness to where a person cannot say no, literally. And they would know that. And people would take advantage of that. Like, I'm not perfect and I'll never be perfect, you guys. But I feel like they lost such a loving and loyal, like, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, like, niece, and, like, bonus mom. Like, we could have, like, if they would have given me a chance, like, we could have just gotten so much accomplished together. We could have had so much fun together, done so many things together. And, like, I would have just had trust and, like, you know. Yeah, anyway. So, anyways, you guys, I'm going to go. I've been literally working all day. I just got through with doing, like, a video for a collab that both my husband and I were doing. And I came straight here to do the story time, you guys, because I was like, you know. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Comment down below if you guys, comment down below if you guys want to hear more story times, or if you want to hear about anything specific, or if you guys want to see a specific video or hear a specific story time. Comment down below and let me know, you guys. You guys also give me your stories. Like, let me know what's up. Let me know, like, you know, what's going on between you and your, like, this baby mama drama. That's a real thing, you guys. Like, are you working it out? Are y'all co-parenting good? Like, how is it, you guys? Like, how lucky are you? And how, like, are you? Like, just tell me you guys' stories. Like, help me. You guys make me feel so much better. Like, because I realize that, so, like, every time I do this, I realize that how many people's stories are so much more, like, drastic than mine. I'm like, oh my God, how did they deal with that? And it just, like, kind of humbles me and heals me, you guys. And by the way, I do make these videos to heal me. I do make back, like, I make these videos for healing, to take back what the devil stole from me. And, like, just to, like, this is the way that I feel like to, for me to let it go feels so amazing, because I've held these things on. I've held these things in for so freaking long, just thinking like, oh, just being annoyed that it wasn't right. It wasn't right. It wasn't right. Like, and just like being so annoyed that so many people got away with what they got away with bothered me. Like, you know, I feel like I didn't seek for no revenge. I never seeked for no revenge. I never did anything like that, because, you know, guys, I'm just not that type of person. But yeah, this really, really heals me. And it, like, I didn't, like, the last few story times, I didn't realize how much of a weight it lifts off my shoulder. And, like, now I won't have to feel this feeling anymore, this void, this, because I'm able to talk about it. I'm able to let it out. I'm able to, like, okay, even though I wasn't able to tell these people how I feel, because of which I always craved for, like, always wanted to tell them exactly how I feel. Like, do you realize what you're doing? Look what you're doing. Well, I was never given that opportunity. I was never given that opportunity, because I was either in a physical altercation with the person, or in an argument, or being, like, treated horribly. Like, so I never had the opportunity to ever, like, sit down and say, like, do you not see, please, like, I'm not this type of person. I'm not that. I don't do drama. I'm not messy. Like, the smoke that you want, I don't want it. Like, it's not there. The smoke is not there. Just please just accept my husband and I. We just was so, and you know, you guys, I've never felt this way with and more so that me and my husband were together, like, and we were so happy together. We, you know, when you find your real love, like, you know it, you feel it. We were so finally so happy. I was out of an abusive relationship. He was, you know, finally in a real relationship, because it tells me that now that he knows what a relationship is and love is, he tells me that he never really had that. He never really had that. So we both had this feeling that we've never felt before, and this safe feeling with each other that we never felt before, that we just wanted to be happy. We just wanted to share that happiness with everyone. We thought, like, okay, we happy. We starting this new family. We're going to brand. We're going to do this. Nah, son. They was like, keep her over there. But yeah, that's just how things are. I'm always, like, gonna share my stories with you guys, because it is a part of my story, regardless of me talking about anybody. I'm not talking about anybody specific, but regardless of how anyone feels about it, it's never ever gonna change the fact that it's my story. This is my story. It'll always be my story. This is what brought me through life. It's like, it's something that I went through, and I had to, like, work really hard to get over and figure out how to get over it. And I did that. I figured out how to heal from that. I figured out how to not feel guilty off of things that's not in my control. I just can't control it. I can't make anyone like me. I can't make anyone accept me. I can't make anybody, like, have the same values and morals as I do. And that's just that. Yeah. So I just learned how to, like, accept that, and how to, like, so I'm just living right now, just, like, accepting it and moving on with my life, just knowing that I tried my I tried my very best to be the best stepmother that I can be, the best co-parent that I can be with her. And it just didn't work out in my favor. It just didn't work out in my favor. They just wanted to hate me. And that's just that. All right, you guys. So I'm going to go. I'll keep rambling, and I'll talk to you guys later.